team of soldiers on Wednesday morning rescued the Oba of Lagos, Rewanu Akiolu II, from angry protesting youth who invaded the palace and attempted to burn it down. The desecration of this monumental Yoruba traditional institution is a condemnable act, many Lagosians insist. We'll take a look at that report later, but right now, while we're waiting for our guest who will comment on this particular matter, the implications, the consequences of the desecration, we'll first take a look at the newspapers today. Over to you, Kachi.
Thank you, Dr. Rubin. So now let's begin with the Saturday Vanguard newspaper. Now, the big headline on the Saturday Vanguard today says, Southern Nigeria boils...
Starting with the Vanguard. No, let's start with this day.
Yes, let's start with This Day newspaper. So the big headline on the This Day newspaper today is #EndSARS, 62 confirmed killed. Lagos destruction may surpass 1 trillion naira to rebuild. Now, some of the sub-headlines there are Buhari briefs former head of state, restates opposition to hooliganism, and then Jonathan saying no nation can ever win the battle against its own people. Well, another one there is the ongoing police reforms will end impunity, and that is what VP Yemi Osibajo is telling the United States. And the United States is also urging Nigeria to prosecute the killers of protesters. Now, we all know that Sanwo-Olu has eased the curfew, and he's warning against further protests. News of protests have begun brewing again. People saying, okay, yes, we might just go back to the streets. And then Fayemi is threatening to deal with arsonists and looters. And then, of course, Sunday Dare is speaking about why Buhari has not spoken on the Lekki shooting. And that interview with Atedo Peter that trended all weekend, saying youths must start now to make EndSARS come to life in 2023. And of course, at the top there, Lagos putting 20 policemen on trial for murder and right abuses.
Well, do we have other newspapers? You can now go to Vanguard.
Yes, we can now go to Vanguard. Okay, so the big headline on the Saturday Vanguard paper is Southern Nigeria boils as hoodlums go on a rampage. Now, the sub-letters there are kill protesters, they kill policemen, and of course, set ablaze police stations, prisons, and courts. They loot malls, banks, shops, and warehouses, and over 30 lives perish. 25 police stations, 60 cars, 160 buses burnt as hoodlums overrun Lagos State. Now, Nigerian politician Emmanuel Iwanyanwu is coming out to say a few things to the president, Muhammadu Buhari, and he's saying that Nigeria is breaking, do something now. He also spoke on the 2023 presidential election and the fact that there is a northern campaign for the return of Goodluck Jonathan to the Aso Villa. Also there, we have Fayemi speaking on the U.S.'s council's doomsday prediction looms as well, saying that, it can be averted, and most Nigerians are not really interested in disintegration. Also, a couple of people, that is during the Zoom meeting that had former heads of state and also the president of the country, we have Buhari telling Gowon, OBJ, and IBB and others how hoodlums hijacked the EndSARS protests in Nigeria. There is also the fact that in Abuja, clashes, wanton destruction, deaths. The DPO station officer killed, 5 police stations attacked in Anambra State as well. And these are some of the headlines on the Saturday Vanguard paper. All right, so now let's take a look at the Saturday Punch newspaper. On the big headline there, it states, obviously, about the Lekki shootings. The U.S. reaffirms visa ban for anti-democratic officials and others. Now, retired generals condemn the shootings and the probe begins on Monday. Lagos and others warn hoodlums as lootings and arson continue. And the thugs break national silos, warehouses in Osun, Kwara, Cross River, and Ekiti. Now, celebrities are also coming together to speak on their roles in the EndSARS protests, what they have to do about this. Tiwa Savage, Fasted Bad Guy, Wizkid, Burna Boy, saying different things on how they can effect change and obviously be a big voice during the EndSARS protests. Still on the EndSARS protests, CAN and the Islamic Council knock Buhari's aid for implicating religious bodies. Still on the headlines, Lagos police count losses. About 80 BRT buses worth 3.9 billion naira burnt. And of course, hoodlums destroyed 25 stations, stole rifles, says the PPRO, and 11 policemen killed in Lagos or your Cross River, robbers of Lekki banks and other looters, of course, arrested. These are some of the headlines in the Punch newspapers. And of course, you could also tell the emotions of people whose shops were looted. You know, you have the owners of the looted shops in Lagos saying, we don't know where to start from. And that you can feel the emotion when they say that, because so much looting has been done, so much destruction. Even for some people who were part of the protests, some of their businesses have been destroyed. So it's like nobody was safe from this. Everybody, you know, was immensely affected by the looting.
Well, I mean, what happened in the last 2-3 days in Lagos, in Ondo State, in Edo State, in Abia, Ebonyi, Kano, Kaduna, I mean, clear indications, in my view, of the problems that we still have to deal with as a country, challenges that we have to still deal with. I had made a point about the population of poor people in Nigeria and how if you have in your country too many poor people, at the end of the day, the elites will be the ones to bear the brunt. And there is in Nigeria today an absence of an elite consensus, of enlightened self-interest, the rich, the privileged, ignoring the poor. Now, when there is a crisis, the poor will fight back. They will show that they are hungry, that they are angry. And we have seen that in the stories coming out now. Yeah. The nation leads. It's good to see the nation coming back, into the market. Seeing massive looting in Lagos, Kwara, Osun, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, others. What began as a protest against police brutality has now ended up as the people looking for food.
To eat.
Looking for opportunities. Looking for any opportunity at all to inflict pain on the state, to inflict pain on the rich. In fact, in Lagos, we saw people stealing, well, people don't like us to use the word stealing. They say taking back their property, but we saw them cutting away goats, fowls, food, bags of rice. That's to show you the extent of the tragedy that Nigeria faces. Because if you don't take care of your people will resort to self-help. That's one particular issue. Now, this day leads with the story 62 confirmed killed. Now, that's a total, a putting together of the number of persons who have died in the course of the protest. But the government continues to insist that people did not die, or that, a smaller number died.
Exactly.
Particularly at the Lekki Toll Plaza, Toll Gate Plaza. Now, I hope that there will be a proper accounting of this. And it is good to hear from the review that you did that President Muhammadu Buhari is talking to former leaders of Nigeria, former presidents. The problem that we face requires collective responsibility. Everybody, not just former leaders, religious leaders, everybody to calm down the situation. But I observed something on the streets of Lagos today. Yesterday, after the president's speech, the boys left the streets. They are back now. So it's not something that the security agencies can do hard work or half-heartedly. They have to be there to secure Lagos, which is the economic nerve center of Nigeria. In parts of Lagos, the boys are back. We need to be kept secure and safe in Lagos.
Absolutely.
And elsewhere, across the country.
Across the country. Well, on that note, we're going to take a short break now. But do stay with us on the morning show. We'll have some more when we return.